should talk to Sister Gertrude since she was a Benedictine nun at the Abbey before the poor Clares arrived. She would be able to tell me all about the convent history for the mural. God bless you, Magdalene. Hello, sister. I have a favor to ask of you. Of course, Magdalene. I'll help however I can. I have a book, The History of Tassia, and I can't read it very well. Can you help me translate it? Oh, I'm afraid my Latin isn't good enough to translate something like that. Its grammar structures are far too complex. I'm sorry, Magdalene. That's alright, sister. I'll have to find another way. There's one more thing if you don't know. It's about the Rathaus mural. Oh, did you need more paint? I believe I have enough gold stored away. No, thank you, sister. I have more than enough paint. I actually wanted to ask you about the history of the Abbey, actually. I'd like to include the Abbey's founding and the history of Tassian saints to the Rathaus mural. I wrote to Reverend Matthew since he lived at Abbey, but wanted to see the place firsthand. Brother Matthew became a reverend. Did he? He was always suited to such a role. I don't suppose that's what you came up the hill for. You're curious about the saint's history, yes? Yes, I was hoping you could show me around the convent and tell me about its history. The poor Clares don't allow outsiders within the convent, even other women. Mother wouldn't like anyone coming in as such a worldly concern. I understand. However, she always welcomes those who are considering joining the order. If a young woman sincerely considered joining the convent, she may be allowed to enter and observe the sisters. Who knows what else she may discover while contemplating the holy life? I've always been drawn to a veil, sister. Something about the fashion. Touring the convent will take some time. Would you like to go see Mother now? Yes, let's go. Mother, I'd like to introduce Magdalene Drucker. The prince's daughter, yes. God bless you, Magdalene. Father Thomas told us of your father's condition, and we pray for his recovery daily. Oh, Thank you, Abbess. Such is our duty to serve the Lord and the community that provides for us. Now, what is this about? Sister Gertrude, you know our holy rule. Why bring young Mistress Drucker to me? Forgive me, Mother. Magdalene is searching for a place in the world and is contemplating the holy life. I thought observing the sisters might aid her in her spiritual search. He was encouraged by the idea. Right, yes. I wonder you've never come up to Abbey before, Mistress Stricken. If God is calling you to the convent, I am more than willing to help you fulfill that divine cause. What brought this change on? Why are you so interested in joining the Poor Clares? I'm worried that helping my father, running the shop alone, and finishing the mural are too much. I think it might better be like I had a holy vision. Saint Sathia told me I was destined for higher things. Mistress Magdalene, would you describe this vision for me? Receiving a vision, a message from God is a grave matter. I think I picked the wrong one. I was sitting under the oak tree by the shrine and that thing appeared to me? She told me that I was called to greater things than petty arts. The Lord often calls us beyond the mundane. Did Sathia say anything else? She told me to pay homage to her, to bless her. I woke up and was so shaken by the whole affair. Came straight away. You were quite wise to do so. Receiving such a message from the Lord must have been quite a shock. I suggest you ask Father Thomas about this vision. He has the education best to aid you there. I will do that. Thank you, Mother. While I can't speak to the vision itself, I am happy to tell you about the Poor Clares. Our small convent used to be part of the larger double monastery, as I'm sure you've been told by Sister Gertrude. However, the Poor Clares live far differently than the Benedictines that once lived here. We believe that it is not ours to produce and live solely on the alms of the community of Tassie as they see fit to give. Likewise, none of the sisters here own any personal property. We share this convent as a gift from the church. We believe that the Lord called us into a life of poverty and service. Does such a life appeal to you, Magdalene? I'm not entirely certain. I'd like to explore and look around to get a feel for the place. Magdalene, you must not have understood me. We have deliberately closed ourselves off from the world. I won't have a legal woman bothering the sisters on their duties or disturbing our rule. However, I will allow Sister Suzanne to show you our duties. Please take your time. When you have finished, please come to me and we will discuss your decision to join. Finally, I thought she'd never finish. What? Truthfully, I'm not here to join the convent. I'm looking for references for a mural and painting in the Roth House. Time to start exploring. You can either come or not, up to you. But Mother said... She said that as long as I'm with you, it's fine to look around. Are you really gonna get us both in trouble? No, I always follow her orders. The convent has many parts. The kitchen, the loquarium, the chapter house, the yard, and the old workshop. Although no one uses that old shed anymore. I'll leave it to you to decide where to go first. This is the chapel where we gather for Mass and liturgy. It's the oldest part of the convent. And the most drafty. Hello again, Sister Gertrude. The sisters have done some minor retouches over the years, but it has represented the Abbey from its earliest days. Oh, there's the tower and the library. The cloister is still being constructed here. Yes, the tower was a burgfort long before the structure became a monastery. The duchy gifted it to the Benedictine order after the Holy Roman Empire grew. I had no use for it as a keep. These walls have protected Tussing from attacks of spirit and steel for generations. A noble history comparable to the founding of Rome, truly. I don't know about that, Magda. It certainly was an endeavor to construct this place. There's some Latin here too, but I can't read it very well. God called Lady Sabine to lead our sisters and brothers in 1261. The Lord Casnell's castle was destroyed by fire in the year of the death of Emperor Frederick II. Only the tower remained. Thank you, Sister Suzanne. Yes, the first lists the Abbey's founding date. The Lady Kirsner was actually the one to suggest the old castle be turned into a double monastery. We added the second shortly after the revolt. Mother Illuminata thought it would be fitting, even if the sisters were not here, some record of what occurred would remain. The Abbey is unique. A double monastery with two saints, one male, one female, to guard the town and abbey. So the foundation of the abbey was even older than the Holy Roman Empire? Many things have been built and torn down on this land over generations. Who knows what else used to be here? You were right, sister. This mural would be a great reference for the rest house. Then I'm glad to have helped. God bless you, Magdalene. It's colder today. There's not much in the yard that could help you, I think. Anything that was here has long been covered in weeds. All I know about this place is that the walls were added when the convent was built onto the monastery. Oh, God bless you, Sister Benedicta. Sister Susanna, God bless you. Oh, this ice is hard. Do I recognize you, Sister Benedicta? I think I've seen you in town once or twice. Yes, you'd have seen her. Sister Benedicta is the youngest of the sisters. Mother only allows one sister to deal with the townsfolk. That went to Benedicta. Furthermore, I have to run around everywhere, gathering all the food and doing all of the chores. I'd rather be inside where it's warm. What are you doing up in the convent anyway? Snooping. Ooh, don't let me get in the way then. What an adventure. Actually, Sister Benedicta, I wanted to ask you some questions. Do you like being a nun? Ah, yes, I don't mind it at all. It's far quieter than home, and I don't have to share my bed with my siblings anymore. I like to help the older sisters, and when I don't mind the chores, except when it's cold like this. One more question, Sister Benedicta. Have you seen any mysterious figures or ghosts recently? Ghosts? No, everything's been normal recently. I haven't noticed anything odd. Is this about Sister Marie's ghost? I think it's Mauritius myself. Oh no. Who? Mauritius? Don't tell Mother this, but I found an old book about Christian legends hidden in the workshop. It is said that a Roman commander named Mauritius conquered Tassing, but the colony failed. Most of the town was empty until Christian refugees found the town hidden in the valley. It was a miracle. I wonder if this is a different retelling of St. Moritz saving Tasman. Oh, maybe. I don't remember if the book mentioned any saint. The Latin was hard to read. Anyway, when Sister Marie said she saw a ghost, I thought it must be Mauritius, trying to get us out. A Roman ghost couldn't be happy about his tower being turned to an abbey, could he? What did you do with this book, sister? Oh, well... I had it with me in the kitchen one day, and I accidentally laid the fire poker on it. Sister Benedicta! I tried to fix it, but it's unreadable now. Sorry, Magdalene. I mean, how could... Oh. Never mind. Your story does give me an idea for the Rathaus mural at least. Maybe I can preserve the tale there. Thanks for telling me about the book, sister. I won't tell Mother. God bless you, sister. Thanks, Magdalene. God bless you. The workshop was covered in dust. Yes, this was the Benedictine Sisters' workshop. They used to make badges and art for pilgrims coming in to see the home to St. Moritz. It looks like everything was just as it is. Up to the fire. Nothing's been used in years. The art subsists on painting, and the poor Clares don't produce goods for sale, so we have no reason to be in here. Surely you thought about sneaking in and creating something, right? I had thought about it. I'm just not sure if it's worth it. Mother doesn't let us come in here unless it's to put something in storage. I've come in a few times and noticed some of the brushes have gone missing. Teapots too. I wouldn't be surprised if the twins managed to sneak their way in here. Mother would be livid if she knew folk from Dusty were sneaking in around the convent. I don't think they'd be able to get into the workshop without one of us seeing them though. Good point. The twins aren't artistically minded anyway. In any case, I think it's sad the workshop is left like this. Truthfully, Magdalene, I don't think you should join the convent, even if that's not what you were here to do anyway. Gertrude talks about you, and you seem to love your art. How did you hate it here? Such valuable paint left to dry and crack on the palettes. There's an old parchment scrap here. It's different from the others. It looks like a scrap from a manuscript. There's something written in Latin in the margin. It says the Mithorandum of Tassin has been destroyed by a flood. There is that word again. The same word I saw in the Roman section of the mine. Wait, this might be from the book Sister Benedict found. I wonder why you would mention that word again. I don't know, it's not a word I've certainly heard before. There's certainly nothing in the convent by that name. Well, the note says it was destroyed, so I suppose it doesn't matter much now? These old badges are beautiful. I heard the pilgrims who brought them love them too. Hello, Marguerite. It's Magdalene. Oh, Magdalene! God bless you! You don't come to the convent alone. You don't normally come here. What brings you then? It's not that you're not welcome, because it's wonderful to visit it. I had some spare time and thought I'd say hello. Oh, well, hello. It is good to hear your voice, though. I enjoy it when outsiders visit the convent. Do you miss the outside world much, sister? Yeah, sometimes. I miss the other Benedictine sisters especially. She never admit it, but Sister Elizabeth had the most wonderful voice. I always stood next to her if I could. Why did you stay? Why didn't you leave when the Benedictines left the Abbey? Truth be told, I was too frightened to leave. The Abbey is my home. I didn't like the idea of becoming accustomed to a new place. Learning the convent's ins and outs was hard enough. I never went outside the convent much anyway. I know where everything is in here, even if it's changed over the years. Sister Gertrude had already planned to stay too. The garden always needed tending, and 2 hands make light work. Besides, I couldn't leave my cat here. Of course, she is truly Queen of the Abbey. Has the convent changed much since the poor Claire's arrived? Yes, the food is simpler and some of the prayers are different. But all the chores and gardening is the same. Gertrude misses making ink for the scriptorium, but I've enjoyed learning the sisters' new customs. Speaking of which, I should probably return to them. Of course, sister. Apologies for interrupting. Not at all, Magdalene. God bless you. Is this the kitchen? There's not anything that's interesting here. Sister Marie and Sister Jessica take care of most of the kitchen duties, so everyone pitches in when needed. God bless you, child. Are you delivering something? Oh, I'm considering joining the convent, so Mother graciously allowed me to visit with you. Hallelujah! Glory, praise be to God. You brought such joy to me this day, child. I haven't actually joined yet, sis. Do you have a strong stomach? Perhaps you can help the sister and I here in the kitchens. I enjoy preparing meals for the sisters that nourish us, but I can never bring myself to actually butcher the animals. Sister Jessica has graciously taken on that task for me. We need sustenance, but I feel the butchering of any animal is wrong, according to the rule of St. Francis. To cause suffering to any living creature is unnecessary and evil, even if God granted Adam and Eve dominion over the animals. The kitchen seems fairly simple. Is there anything from the convent's founding days? No more than the structure itself, I'm afraid. Cookware needs replacing over the years. There are some nights a ghost appears to me through the cook fire. A lost spirit trapped between heaven and hell. Sister Marie, not this again. Not to Magdalene, please. Could have been one of the ghosts of one of the sisters from the founding of the convent? Maybe even Saint Tassia? If it was, she has never said a word to me, though I felt prostrate in prayer before her. The spirit, whoever it is, rose up through the ground at vigils. Dawn and dusk are the hours when the boundaries between this world and the spiritual world are weakest. We may be the newest arrivals here, but this convent is very old. Perhaps there is something Roman underneath this foundation centuries before. The spirit may seek to know the presence of God, now that it rests on holy ground. spirit in the Abbey? Why would you have the cult though? It breaks my heart to think the spirit was crying out for help, trapped beyond heaven's reach. Why don't we keep going, Magdalene? It's better not to get Marie too upset. Of course. God bless you, sister. God bless you, child. God bless you, Magdalene. God bless you, sister. How goes the cooking? As well as the Lord wills it. My old fingers fumble from time to time, but it is my privilege to prepare supper for the other sisters. That's very noble of you. Just as God gave Paul a thorn in his side, so did he give me the pains of age to strengthen my faith. Such things are a blessing when compared to the pains Christ carried upon the cross. But didn't Christ die so we don't have to suffer unnecessarily? In the next life, yes. But even Christ said we would face hardships while we live on this earth. I have chosen to find meaning and devotion to the Lord through my hardship. Thank you for sharing your perspective with me, sister. You are most welcome, child. God bless you. So that's the kitchen done. Marguerite. The convent courtyard. Chapel. Wow, this place is tiny. Oh yes, here. Here's a lower. Let's just. I'm not going to open it though. Most of the Abbey's visitors come in here, but aren't allowed to enter. We aren't allowed to go into the outside world either. Like Mother said, isolation's part of our vows. Sister Gertrude once told me the old Benedict sisters would go into town sometimes and even talk to men on occasion. And I'm stuck here, staring at these walls for the rest of my life. Are you unhappy here, Sister Suzanne? I don't know. My father promised me to the church as a baby. Some oath he swore when my mother struggled in her pregnancy. So there I was, dropped into the pool Claire's the summer I turned 17. I'm so sorry. No one should be forced into a life they don't want. We daughters are born to bear our family's legacy. Between our legs or on our backs, it doesn't matter. My family is devoted to the church. I've only been in the convent for 2 years, but I'm trying my best. I don't mind the prayers or the hours, and I'm sure of my devotion to the Lord, but this isn't what I wanted. But since when did a woman ever get what she wanted without being punished? Eve couldn't even manage it. We can only do the best we can. I pray that one day it'll be different. Maybe, but we certainly won't ever live to see it. Sometimes I get jealous of Sister Gertrude and even Sister Marguerite. At least I got to see something of the world before they were 20. Why don't you leave? And do what? My family wouldn't support me. I have no husband. I have no way to own land or make coin. What could I do but pray? We're better to do that than in a cloister. Thank you for listening, Magdalene. Anyway, let me show you the rest of the cloister. Later on. Well, you've seen the entire convent. There's not much here. What do you think of it? I understand the appeal of such a small life. It offers its own freedoms from the world, even if I'm not drawn to it. That's true, we aren't bound by the worries and thoughts of the world. It's been so long since I've spoken to anyone from outside the convent. I'm reminded of the life I once had. Now you have me thinking about whether or not I should remain with the sisters. I think you should go. You never chose this life. You deserve to have the life you truly want. Magdalene, I think you're right. My family's devotion doesn't have to be mine. Maybe I could find a way out in time. I'll help however I can, Susan. I'm sure we have some spare provisions at home. Really? Would be wonderful. So long no one found out. Anyway, we should return to Mother before she suspects something. The first time I've been able to do that one. I tried to do it around and I failed. I think I succeeded this time. I learned a lot today. Thank you for showing me around the convent. No, thank you, Magdalene. Today has been more interesting than any I can remember in the Abbey. Come, let's find Mother. She'll be wanting to hear what you thought of the place. Well, Magdalene, what is your assessment of the four Clares? Is the good Lord calling you to a life with us as a sister? I am compelled by the devoted life the sisters lead, Mother, but I am afraid I must tend to my father first. Of course, I understand. Caring for your father is in itself a noble path. However, if your heart leads you back uphill, the doors to the convent are always open to you. Our community is quite modest compared to the splendor of the old Benedictine house operating under the rule of a powerful abbot. I see why fewer women are drawn to the order these days. Thank you for allowing me inside. You are most welcome, Magdalene. God bless you. Ah, Magdalene. How did your little expedition go? I learned a lot from seeing the Abbey. I have a good idea of what I'll depict in the mural now. But sister, there's something I don't understand. The Abbey was so prosperous. Why did the monks rebuild it after the fire? What a task that would be. The chapel was beautiful. The stained glass always caught my eye in the morning. There was a great deal of anger and sadness in Tassing that night. The abbot felt the brothers and sisters were no longer welcome here, so they moved on. In truth, the Abbey's dissolution was inevitable, yet they were running out of money and patrons. The riot and the fire were simply a particularly awful and painful way to end the monastery. Did anything survive the fire? Some of the buildings are intact, but are terribly overgrown. They haven't dared forage in the rubble. I doubt you find anything of help for your mural inside other than charred wood and parchment. It might be worth taking a look even if I'm careful. I worry about you sometimes, Magdalene. I really do. Thank you for all your help, Sister Gertrude. Well, that one's... I don't know. I did learn more about the founding of the Abbey. And that illustration from the manuscript of that place is like the one in the mine. Is it part of the history of the Abbey or Tassing? It must be written down somewhere. Only the library hadn't burned down with everything in it. The ruins are right there. Maybe not everything was destroyed. My God, this is amazing. I wonder what it must have looked like before the fire. Everything collapsed in the fire. I'll have to be careful climbing over this rubble to get past it. Oh, I... Oh no, if I can't get back up there. I climb, it might collapse even further. I'll have to find another way out. There's nothing left to the old staircase. I guess I can't go this way. These vines go all the way to the top though. They look sturdy enough to hold my weight. Well, there's no other way out. I can see all Tassie from here. I wonder if I can piece together the foundations of the Abbey and find a way to get to the library. I bet I could get down this way. The roof looks pretty stable. Oh, God. I remember when the library burnt down. Dad told me I was just a baby, but I remember the flames coming out of the windows. So many people were screaming and running around. I cried myself to sleep that night. I haven't seen this place since. It doesn't look like there's much left inside. I suppose it was too much to hope for. Well, Magdalene, how are you going to get out of here? This place is a mess. How sad. Oh, an old mirror. It's worn, but I can still see some of the figures. A dance of death? Wait a second. These figures look new. The paint can't be more than a few years old. Someone's been adding to this. This feels wrong. Who would add new figures to the dance of death? And why? These look like people from the town from here. People who died. That must be the Baron and the Otto. Wait, is one's here? Hello? Who are you? The door! Whoever was watching me must have opened it. I don't like this. I think I've seen everything up to the Abbey. I want to get out of here. Snowing already? Almanac said it shouldn't stop for another week at least. I think we're in for a hard winter. God bless you, Magdalene. And God bless you, Father Thomas. Do you have a moment? Of course, what can I help you with? I wanted to ask you about Tassing Saints. I'd like to represent them in the Roth House. I'm thrilled to hear it. The Saints will make wonderful centerpiece for the murals. Let's make a deal. I listen to you as you tell me about the Saints. And you don't press me about putting them into the mural. Very well. You know, there is one saint you're overlooking. Why, the Blessed Virgin, of course, Mary. People often forget that Mary is the greatest saint. And she visited one of the peasants here in Tassing centuries ago. The Virgin Mary appeared in Tassing. Why? Yes, she appeared to give a message. Centuries ago, a farmer in the fields behind us had 3 visions of Mary. In the first, she told him that she wanted to tell the Bishop of Riesling that she had appeared. The peasant travelled down to Riesling, but the Bishop would not see or hear him. The peasant returned to Tassing and had another vision in the field. The Virgin showed him a pattern, a labyrinth. She told him to draw it on a sheet of birch bark and bring the drawing to the Bishop of Riesling. The Bishop attempted to turn the peasant away, but he could see the drawing of the labyrinth in his hands. It was the same image that the bishop had seen in a dream 3 nights earlier. He met with the peasant who told him of the 2 apparitions he had seen here in Tassin. The bishop was so moved by the peasant's story, he came here to Tassin. And when the bishop came, Mary appeared to both of them. She told the farmer that the town needed to build this church. She told the bishop to support the town. And so the bishop helped fund the creation of this church. The people of Tassin have been using it ever since. I think if I include the saints in the mural, I'll place Our Lady among them. I think that is a most excellent idea, Magdalene. It will help reinforce Our Lady's presence in the minds of the faithful. A worthy addition to the story and the devotion of our people. Thank you for the story, Father Thomas. You are most welcome, Magdalene. God bless you and your work, Magdalene. God bless you, Father Thomas. I shall get back to the Rathhouse and get to work. Magdalene. Dr. Stoltz. So you're doing quick work with the mural, eh? I heard that doesn't make you sloppy. I'm trying to finish it in time for Dad. You understand? You'd best work quickly then. He doesn't have much time left. Thanks for the encouraging words, as always, Doctor. In any case, the council wants to hear what you're doing. I've been researching the early Christian history of Tassing after the Romans left. Learning how people settled in the ruins, how the abbey was founded, why our saints are so important to us. It was a lot to take in, but I've settled on my subject. And I'll paint the Bavarians settling among the Roman ruins, starting the Christian history of Tassing. You may find that ignoring the saints in favor of such a mundane portrayal of events is unwelcome. Even so, I suppose it is an important step in the history of Tassing. Remember, the mural isn't for your benefit, but to make Tassing look good. Just let me do my job, Doctor. After this section, there's still so much work to do. I haven't even figured out how I'm going to portray the revolt. Ah, yes. I imagine it poses difficulties that the other murals do not. It's a strange story to tell a story that still lives in the hearts of so many people here. I don't think anyone wants to talk about it. They've just locked it away. It sounds like you have your work cut out for you. I'll leave you to it then. Oh, Dr. Stoltz? Yes? Never mind. Good night. Good night, Magdalene. Now I only have the final part of the mural to finish. How should I paint the revolt? Dad always talked about how the Archdeacon was the only one seeking justice in those days. But what was his name? The only name I can remember is the name of the Archdeacon who came to Tassing when the Baron was killed. Jacob Essler. Maybe he wrote an account of the revolt as the Archdeacon. I'll write to him and ask. And of course I need to write back to Esther too. I'll write back to them tonight. Before bed. Alright, where to begin? I'll write to the Archdeacon Jacob Essler and see if he can tell me about the revolt. I'll also write to Essler too. I hope the courier can make it to the passes before winter. How did this get here? Stop. This is just like the note Dad found. Are they trying to scare me? And if I don't stop, are they going to try and kill me next? I need to ask Dad about this. This can't be a coincidence. He's so weak. I don't want to upset him. Just need to wait for the right time. I hope there is a right time. It's late. I should get some rest soon. Mistress Durkin, only one letter B today. The pass is nigh impossible to traverse, and the heavy snow is hard on the horse and myself. Anyway, happy Advent, my dear. Thank you. The same to you. Ah, a reply from Jacob Essler. Mistress Durkin. I do recall the Rothbergel case, although it has been over a decade since I have served as an archdeacon. I am no longer associated with the office of the Prince Bishop. In fact, I am no longer associated with the Catholic Church. If you do not mind conversing with a Lutheran, I will tell you what happened. Well, what I remember. The note you mentioned, do stir something in my memory. One of the men I questioned that night was an artist from Nuremberg, Andreas Mahler. He mentioned finding notes written in a fine hand, inciting individuals to violence against the Baron. While the scope of my investigation was too narrow to look into the matter, it did concern me. Finding more notes now, after so many years, must mean that the author is still active. If this is the case, a serpent has laid coiled in the bosom of your community for decades. It may still lay there still. What causes the serpent to awaken every few years? To stage a new killing. I fear that finding the answer to that question may draw you into its reach. However, if you are determined to find the source of the trouble, I believe you must inquire with your neighbors. I urge caution in your investigation into this matter. If the serpent merely sleeps, it may be dangerous to poke into its old resting places. I hope this has been of some help to you. May God bless and keep you safe. Jacob Essler. No reply from Esther this time. It must have been delayed due to the heavy snow. The postman said I won't receive any more letters until spring. I'd better get back to the Rath House and still more work to be done. Good morning, Dad. I finally caught up in the mural, and now I can start the final part today. I promise I'll get it done. Magdalene, I'm proud of you. Thanks, Dad. I'm sorry Dr. Stoltz said you can't come to the festivities tonight. I know how much you love the... There's always the next year. Right. How are you feeling? Dr. Stolt said he would come by again today. Fine. I'm fine. Are you sure? Do you need anything? No, go on. I'm alright. In fact, my spirits are lifted today. It's Christmas Eve after all. Of course. What's wrong? Dad, I found a note back in November. A note? What do you mean? It was like a note I found in your plans for the murals. Just a scrap of parchment. It looked like it came out of an old manuscript. Elaborate writing, purple ink. It just said stop. Do you know where they came from? Who wrote them? Magdalene. Oh, that must be odd. He said he dropped by with more firewood. If you know something, I'd like you to tell me, alright? I know. I will. Can we talk about this later? I'll be back later. Good. Take care of yourself out there. Morning, Magdalene. Morning. I told you the almanac was alright, didn't I? And the moon forecasted a cold winter this year. Ugh, fine. You alright? It's a good thing you paid attention to it too. It saved me a lot of trouble finishing work early. Anyway, I brought some firewood for you and your dad. Thank you, Watts. You're welcome. Ooh, how's your dad? Do you think he can join everyone for Christmas Mass? I think he'll stay in bed tonight. I'll do my best to be there. I need to keep working on the mural though. I'm working on the final section. About the peasants' revolt, right? It feels weird to talk about it. It affected Tassin so much. But we were just kids. I can't remember what happened since I was just a baby. I never even knew my dad. That's what makes it difficult. I need to ask those who were already adults that night, but I don't want to touch raw nerves. What if you spoke to people while everyone was preparing for the Christmas festivities? Clara sometimes talks about that night. Mum do. You might better ask them. Roslav is the only Benedictine living in Tassing. Maybe he'll talk to me. I didn't think of that. Still, the mural is for Tassing, not the old abbey. Back Agnes has always been interesting, right? I'd go to her if I were you. Dad said she helped bury Dad said she helped bury everyone who died that night. I wonder if she talked about it. It's your project, Magdalene. It might be worth a try. I wrote to the Archdeacon about it too. He thinks that the Baron's murder and Otto's death are connected to the revolt. The who? Oh, never mind. I'll figure it out somehow. Thanks for the wood. See you later, Mags. Ugh. Oh, it's alright. I should start talking to people around town. I better get started if I want to talk to everyone before the event festivities start. Hello, Magdalene. Hello, Magdalene. How's the weather? We've been prepping for the feast in here all day. Which one shall I pick? Fresh and brisk, perfect for a walk. Ugh, better you than me. I'll stay in here, where I can keep my fingers warm. Warm and covered in my cookie dough. Hey, it's good. And you only make it at Christmas. Simon, you're supposed to be cleaning, not making things messier. Dad, it's fine. We have plenty of dough. Besides, we'll have to sweep again later. Alright, I don't want to see your grubby fingerprints on anything tonight, Simon. Ugh, fine. Judith's been eating it too. I'm the one rolling it out. I deserve a little reward. Anyway, what did you come in for, Magdalene? I was hoping you could tell me what you remember of the revolt. I was too young to remember much of it. No one seems to talk about it, and well, Slab, you're the only one in town who was in the Abbey at the time. The only one who stayed anyway. I had been friendly enough with the people in town. We put it behind us in time. You can imagine the other brothers had little reason to remain. Poor Adolf's heart gave out that night. It was all too much for him. God rest his soul. Joined the Dominicans and became an inquisitor. I've seen him around these parts over the years. Time has turned him friendly enough, considering his vocation. I'm not sure what happened to the others. All gone in any case. But the whole thing is a sensitive subject, Magdalene. Why are you asking? I want to honor everyone who fought in the revolt in the Rathaus mural. That sounds lovely. I'll tell you what I remember, Magdalene. Wait, Magdalene, here. Come cut out cookies with me first. That way we don't fall behind while we chat. We'd be grateful for the help. Alright, Magdalene. Cut out cookies from the dough and set them aside so Simon can put them on a tray. We'll need a good number in a variety of shapes, so don't hesitate to change which cutter you use. We have to make enough for the whole town after all. Are you done? Oh, there's not really that many. I think it's fine. If you think so, I hope we have enough. We better keep going if we're going to have everything ready by the procession tonight. So, what can we tell you, Mags? I heard these soldiers, well, mercenaries, came into town before the revolt and warned everyone to leave the abbey alone. Why didn't anyone listen? They were trained soldiers and they killed so many people. Oh, some people did. Your father, for one. He left the peasants' cause after that. He's never forgiven himself for that. That's why I'm making the mural. That won't bring any of them back, though, will it? Enough, Juta. It's not Magdalene or Klaus's fault the revolt turned out so poorly. There are some people who wanted to talk. Master Mailer worked hard to keep the peace, but after Otto was killed, that Andreas Mailer did nothing but raise trouble every time he set foot in Tassing. He did? But my dad holds him in such high regard. Your father was blind to the harm he did, Tassing, and he blames himself too much for his part in the mess. Andreas Mailer may have had the best intentions, but you'd have to be a fool not to see the harm he did in Tassing. Thanks to him and his twisted sense of justice, Sister Matilda was blamed for the death of the Baron Rothburgel. But Andreas died trying to stop the revolt and save the abbey. And also the bogs. And that too was another work of folly. He tried to save as many books in the library as he could. Klaus mourned his death for a long time, when he could have escaped with his life. It sounds like no one should have opposed the abbey at all. Otto always said we had natural rights and it was Christian to oppose Father Gernot. We couldn't even collect in the forest without a fee. Dad kept saying we couldn't live with higher and higher taxes. The night Otto died, the abbot was trying to excommunicate everyone for celebrating St. John's Eve. A lot of people thought the abbot killed him in revenge. Turns out, it was Brother Guy. He was embezzling funds from the abbey. Still, up to Otto and Ulrich. That was too much. We burned the mill with both bastards inside. The abbot promised to help if Andreas found the person who killed Otto. All we wanted was to talk. You mean no one was supposed to burn down the abbey? Why would anyone want that? We sought justice, not murder. It was too much for Peter. Lenhart was one thing. He just killed Ulrich, but to burn the abbey? But when the mercenaries saw the fire, they thought they had another revolt on their hands. Even Father Gnot couldn't stop them. We all fled, but Brother Florian saved as many as he could. But Peter was wrong to burn the abbey, but what the soldiers did, that was awful. I thought that knight was supposed to protect people. Like in a book I read. Rarely does real life match the heroism of stories, Magdalene. Dad died protecting me, stabbed in the chest. I don't even remember what he was wearing, but I do remember how dark the blood was when we found him. Almost black and sticky, electrical. Dad socked one of the soldiers in the face, but another was right there, and Magdalene, can we stop talking about this? Of course, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to upset anyone. Thanks, Magdalene. It's hard to discuss sometimes, you know. Good luck. We'll see you at the procession later. Magdalene Druk, I didn't expect to see you today. How is your father? He's not well, honestly. Oh, no, I'm so sorry. He'll be in our prayers tonight. Ours as well. Now then, is there something we can help you with, dear? I have a small favor to ask. Oh, go on then. spit it out. If it isn't too much trouble, I'd like you all to recount what you remember of the revolt. I'm nearly done with my mural, but I need more details. I was so young, I don't remember much of that night. Oh, for that project of yours in the Wrath House. I'm afraid I won't have much good to say about the matter, but alright. Come sit down, Magdalene. Don't worry about helping with the race. It took me years to get the technique up to Mum's expectations, so you're better off not helping. You always did fine, Brigadier. So, Magdalene, what do you need to know to finish the mural? I was hoping to ask you more about the revolt. All I can remember was the plains when Abbey burnt. What part of the revolt? The abbot starving us out of house and home? Otto's murder? I doubt that would be a good painting. It seems like the abbot at the abbey wasn't on very good terms with Tassing. Everyone but that bloody Miller hated him with good reason. He only ever cared for how much money he could get out of us. Brigadier, don't forget to twist the ends in. Can't have it looking like a Christmas hedgehog. I'm getting there, Mum. I walked up to Martin and Kraft well enough, haven't I? I can manage this. Yes, well, after your father died, I've got no one left to nag besides you and that husband of yours. Thank God I have both of you, as a matter of fact. Let an old woman have her vices. The Gertner house was a bit sad. Jorg always gets quiet at this time of year. Whatever for? I reckon because that family's been hard pressed since Peter died. Tassing's lost a good number of folk over the years, and feast days and celebrations make it harder to bear. You mean in the revolt, right? The revolt matters that fool Andreas had to meddle in everything. Didn't do much good if you ask me. Andres Mela, the artist. I thought he was Dad's friend. He was, and I can't fault your father for that. Mr. Mela was an interesting man. He'd already meddled and not been testing. After the Baron's murder, which he held more sway than he knew. I could understand it the first time. He wanted to save the old monk. I dare say he saw him as a father. And to think it was that sister who'd wanted revenge. I suppose he did some good for Tassie then. Poor Wurslav. I don't think he ever recovered from that. I know Gret also thought well of her. He blames Andreas for her death. He says Andreas had a twisted sense of justice. The poor man. He's lost everything. No wonder he blames Andreas. Then came the revolt, and Andreas Mela happened to show up nearly the day of Otto's murder. Did the revolt accomplish anything? Well, the entire matter was a horrible, bloody mess. But it did restore peace and testing. By force. A shame it had to happen at all, I think. I knew the revolt was a bad idea from the very start. Old Wursla would be the only one to know what happened inside the old church now, before the fire. But like you said, Magdalene, he's still upset about it. And Andreas, after all these years. Some like to say things were always this bad. That violence was the only way. But the truth is, it wasn't. Life got worse over the years. It wasn't like this when I was a child. Nor in my grandparents' time either. Sure, the abbot was pinching townsfolk and the peasants were suffering. But to go against the church? Like you said, things weren't always so bad. We fought to make things right. But things got better in the end, even if so many people died? What kind of good comes from violence? I've never seen Peter so angry. That soldier even warned Peter, but nothing will stop him, besides Steel. So... nothing got better? At all? No, not as I see it. The law is just as severe as the abbot was, and threatens force at every turn. That's life. You can struggle and die to accomplish something, and nothing changes. The dead are luckier. They died believing they changed something. We're stuck with the harsh reality. This is all you've known, Magdalene. You've grown used to it. We all have. Thank you for sharing your story with me. It's important to share our suffering with the younger generations. Maybe they can change something. Good luck on the mural, Magdalene. Good luck. Hello, Magdalene. I would have thought you'd be working on the mural today. What brings you here? I would like to sit with you and ask how you remember the rebellion, so that I can paint it if that's alright. That was a sad time. If it will help you memorialize those we lost in the revolt, yes. I'll answer a few questions. I don't mind. I was a little older than you, so I probably remember more, Magdalene. Of course, Magdalene. I'll tell you all you want to know. I've been looking forward to seeing the mural for some months. Come now, sit with us. Now that you're all settled, what did you want to know? Did the revolt have anything to do with the other murder that happened in Tassing? Oh, the murder of the Baron, you mean? No, not really. I only remember that Andreas attempted to be a peacekeeper in both situations. I suppose that's when things started going poorly. Sister Matilda could never have killed the Baron, but that's what the Archdeacon decided. I don't often get angry, but her death still puts a flame in my heart. Her death was wrongfully done. They were so close. The poor man has lost so much over the years. Well, he was a monk. He must have hated the peasants. Ursula, the abbot ruled over the monks as well as us. Not to mention, he was a peasant before a monk. We cannot blame the whole for the sins of one. I know Sister Matilda suffered long over something to do with that Baron, but she was a woman of forgiveness. Really, it was after the Baron's murder that Abbott became so severe. He must have thought that the weakness of faith and Tassing was creeping up the hill, seeping into Abbey more like it. I don't know any of that, but his taxes and restrictions and his attitude towards us became harsher that day. It was all we could do to live by them, but it eventually became too much. Even with all the restrictions, was the revolt really justified? I keep hearing conflicting stories about how it began. Agnes blamed Andreas for starting the revolt. Is that really true? Andreas only ever sought peace from what I remember. He took it upon himself to try and keep justice in Tassing, even though it wasn't his home. Truly, it's thanks to him that we had peace for so long. We did everything we could to keep things from getting violent, but the Lord had other plans. I remember how sick and hungry I was all the time. Grandpa kept saying it hadn't always been like this. All all was fine until one of the brothers killed her in retaliation for finding out just how corrupt the Abbey actually was. Well, my husband wouldn't let that rest. We all wanted justice. When that soldier arrived and threatened us, all the townsfolk pulled away, except for you and Ulrich, Grat. No, Clara. I'm afraid even I was intimidated, and begging Ulrich to leave the matter be. My husband stood alone with the peasants. Why did all the peasants revolt anyway? So many people died. They must have known it wouldn't succeed. Father Gunnar was a harsh lord. His rules and taxes left many of the families starving. By that time, we were so starved and wanted justice. So much Peter truly thought success was possible. There was still some discussion. Ulrich and Andreas wanted peace. Then that bloody Miller protected that bastard. Always hated us. He thought he was better than us. Ursula, language. Well, Mum, it's true. Leonard even shot Ulrich out of nowhere. It was unprovoked? Yes, Leonard always did hate the rest of the townsfolk, and he would take advantage of anyone he could. My husband sought peace to the last. He was a martyr to us. I think the miller shot Ulrich to retaliate, but after that, Peter couldn't be stopped. We'd lost too much. The burning of the abbey was a grim night, and the soldiers coming in. Our men fought to protect us, to protect Tassing, and many died that night. But at least he got rid of the abbot and all of the monks. At least. Yes, and that is some comfort, if only a little bit. Are there any heroes of Tassing I should memorialize? Dad, definitely. Peter always wanted the best for Tassing, even if he acted harshly by setting fire to the abbey. I hope you can portray him in the best light, Magdalena. I'd rather not talk about that night anymore. I hope we provide enough insight for your work. You did, thank you. I'll let you get back to work. Thank you, Magdalena. I'm certain the mural will be beautiful. Time to go to the commons for the procession. It's too damn cold. You shut your mouth, boy. We've done this battle every year. You won't die standing here for 5 minutes. Oh, good. You made it, Magda. I was getting worried you would miss the procession. I wouldn't miss the procession for the world. The costumes are just too wonderful to miss, aren't they? I remember the mask scared me when I was little. Shh, it's starting. Oh, Artemis looks so lovely. I'd love to be the bright saint when you leading off all the demons into the woods. That's the only type of boys that'll follow you, Artemis. Apollo, stop that! Sorry, Mom. Christina, see the urchin? So scary! I don't like it. Shh, Andres, you're all right. They're only costumes. Big masks that our neighbors are wearing, remember? Ugh, it's so cold. Magdalene, would you want to be the bright saint or one of the pet of the demons? Oh, a demon. They're so spooky. I think the masks would get stuffy, but it would be fun to take any part. You'll get your chance, don't worry. Tassing's done this procession as long as I can remember. Everyone in town's been a part of the procession. Well, except for you young ones yet. I wish Dad could be here. He'll see next year's, surely. And you can go home and describe it all to him. As beautiful as ever. As grand and long as ever. Well, at least we're going to eat after this.